Charity, how are you?
I'm really well, thank you. I love all of your awards in the background there.
Thank you very much. My favorite is the middle one, which is the Father of the Year award my daughter gave me. So, you know.
Well, so appropriate for this. You're Father of the Year, and you're interviewing me about a film called Preschool. It couldn't get better.
I'm such a fan of you and your career, and this is, kind of a different character for you. I mean, I when I think of Charity Wakefield, I don't think of comedy. Should I?
Well, I have done a lot of comedy, but I think it maybe hasn't. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's been I've been doing it a little bit now. I love doing comedy, and I do feel like I think I probably do. Yeah, maybe more like
Yeah.
dramedy as a kind of general sense, but like certainly in theatre, I've done lots of comedy in it. I'm very happy in the job of doing comedy. I really enjoy it. Like it's an adrenaline rush, to be honest with you, because in some senses it's a lot more difficult than doing drama, as I know lots of people say, because well, for me personally, I find it quite easy to access sort of dramatic moments and I'm very emotional. So like if you give me a scene where I've got to be crying, I'm like, oh, easy. Like I can just be like, I'm really in the moment of that and the tears come naturally and whatever. With comedy, it can be, and it oughtn't to feel mechanical, but it has to be, things happen in a way that make you laugh. And that doesn't come from nowhere. That's like a really good comedian writing a script with an understanding of like the structure of what a laugh is. So sometimes it can be, quite feel quite mathematical in many ways.
Comedy on stage is different because you get that immediate response, but
Yeah,
in a film, you have to wait till the
yeah.
film opens and see if the
No, we got
audience
that.
react.
We got the immediate response on set with this one because it was very funny to do, and we didn't have much time either, and we were doing a lot of improvising around the script, so we that was a problem because we were laughing. Josh is a very relaxed director, and he was also in it, so I think he would have an idea about let's try the scene in this way, and then he would be in it, and then obviously it would be obviously quite funny, and sometimes we would just all go. So it was quite frankly, I'm pleased that we've got a film out of it because that the first film scene that we did, in fact, was this padel game, which is in it. And what a way to start, like, hi, nice to meet you. Here's some kind of big yellow jackets, and now you're going to play padel. Have you any of you ever played this? No, let's just give it a go. Okay. And so it was instantly very funny, and like, it was lovely because we got a cut of that the next day. So we filmed it on the first day, and then the next day we've got a cut of the scene, and lots of these funny lines that had just kind of come out of the improvisation remained in the film, and we knew immediately, oh, okay, it's that kind of film where it feels relaxed and people are really listening to each other. And I think we all felt quite kind of confident in our characters, and the premise of the film is something you can get on board with really easily. Feels really accessible, and that lots of people will definitely relate to this idea of what it feels like to be a parent and to be be interested in your children's welfare and want them to go to the best school. And we might not have the means of the parents that are kind of in the film, but we certainly have like the feelings of them.
Talk to me a little bit about getting the script and what was in that script that made you say yes.
Oh, just parents getting it wrong, I think, because all parents get it wrong. It's impossible to get it completely right. We can only try our best. And I think what's lovely about the script is by the end of it, everybody's listening to each other and people are giving each other the time to talk about their own life experiences. And I think that when you have children, you think it's going to be a certain way, and you sort of know the headlines, like, oh, it will be lovely to have a baby. And like, I'll probably have to take some time off work. And, then at some point we've got to think about school. And once you have kids, you start taking on board so many different things about what different people have got, what their thoughts are about how you should bring your children up. Like what are the things that are really, really important about their kind of world in growing up. And you can get quite stressed about that because there's now, especially with being so online all the time, there's too much advice almost, and you get stuck in the middle. And what I think you often don't realize is that some of your gut instincts can get a bit skewed because you're coming from a place of being very tired and very stressed and very caring. And also, you've had your own life experience to draw on. And so I think sometimes being a parent can bring out those feelings that are very hidden in your own self, you know. And what the film does is it allows a space for, in particular, the two men who are being very competitive in the film to actually talk about where this comes from, this sense of needing to compete, needing to make sure that their children have the absolute best, you know, and there's really, you know, we discover a sense of kind of, you know, worry and perhaps a feeling of inadequacy and a feeling of not having been looked after enough as a child, not being successful enough as a person. These are all human things that we can all relate to, but we often, I think, particularly as parents, don't have the chance to think about ourselves very much because you're thinking about your children. So it kind of, I think the film offers a really nice kind of gateway for people to start to really think, oh, you know, this is something that's tricky for me, and this is the way I'm behaving, and like, why am I behaving like that? You know?
I think the film holds up a mirror to parenthood, but it's a carnival mirror.
Yeah,
It's a little bent. And Josh Duhamel, my gosh, the guy can do anything.
I agree with you. He's fantastic, isn't he? I'm
Yeah,
so
and
pleased that,
he's also one of the smartest people
yeah.
around. I mean, he just really knows a lot.
He does, and he's a parent too. And I think that like this was a really, you know, it kind of he was really interested in making these characters have faults and be three-dimensional and make mistakes and be silly and get it wrong. But that they're also trying and they have heart and they care and they go above and beyond. And that actually does all really represent the Josh that I have come to know and love. I think he's fantastic as an actor. He's really fun to work with. He's dynamic on set. He brings the energy in, you know, come into the trailer in the morning, be like, we're filming again, we're doing another day. And I'd be like, Josh, we can all see it's raining outside, you know, this is London. And he'd be like, we're doing a film. You know, he has that brilliant energy. He peps everybody up. And then as a director, he was really generous. You know, he kind of really did allow us to improvise around the script, to bring ideas in. I was even, you know, not just me, most of us central characters actually were allowed to even embellish our scripts a bit, write little bits in to kind of
Yeah.
make them feel a bit more fleshed out. And he took the time and the care to put all of that through to the writers, you know, who signed off on it. And then they're all there in the script. So I think all of us probably feel really represented in the film, you know, as well as our acting work, but just in our whole selves, you know, which is lovely. It's a real
Mhm.
achievement, especially in such a short space of time.
Yeah. Charity, what do you think audiences will experience when they see the film?
I think they're going to think it's funny. I'm hoping they're just going to really laugh. I like the pace of the film actually. I have to say it sets itself up gently, you know, like you get to know who the characters are and then it's almost like the laughs come unexpectedly as you go through. It doesn't tell you immediately like this is going to be crazily funny. It's like these are some people that love their children and it's kind of, you know, gently funny, and then it starts to kind of really increase. And I think that's the great skill of Mark, our editor, because I really like comedy that doesn't try too hard. There are certainly some standout moments in the film that are kind of very silly, but they're built up to, and they're also built down from. That I really enjoy too. Like you see the comic moment, and then you also see like the bit afterwards and the bit after that, and that's you know, that it's that kind of that gold dust stuff of life for me that feels really relatable.
It escalates and it escalates beautifully.
Yeah, it definitely does that. It definitely escalates.
Do you miss being on the stage? I mean, are you going back to, a live audience at any time soon?
I do miss being on the stage. I'd really like to do a play actually. It's you know, timing is everything obviously, but I really loved the stage work that I've done, and I've been really lucky to do all sorts of different types of stage work. The last thing that I did was a very kind of big comedy play called Amelia. And I actually played many, many different parts in that. And it was an all female cast playing across male and female
Wow.
roles. And I actually played William Shakespeare. So it was kind of a real, I mean, I think I had 18 different moustache and beard changes in that play and costume changes. So it was a real you know, big production, big globe theatre production where we had to you know, it was very all consuming. I'd like to do something that sits in the middle of film and theatre, and to go and do something in a really small space. And I've also just started directing too, and I just directed a small promenade piece that does
Nice.
exactly that. So I had the actors kind of almost speaking directly. We only ever had an audience of 18, so that the
Wow.
audience really felt like they were in the room with the actors going through. And we're developing that piece now to do something that's kind of potentially an immersive piece of theatre. So yeah, I'm absolutely still in the world of theatre, and there'll be more
Bef
coming.
Before I leave you, and thank you so much for your time, I would just love to hear you read A Christmas Carol. Uh, from as a lady doing it, it would be such an interesting take.
To read A Christmas Carol, really? To as in
Yeah,
the
as a reading, as
yeah.
like
Oh, well,
Patrick
thank
Stewart
you.
used to do.
Yeah, I wish I could say that I could do that. I don't have it to hand right now, but my goodness, like, yes, I'll do it. Like, and I love that. What a fantastic! I'm going to put that in my notes right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have
Let's do
now
it.
till Christmas to get it done, and
You know what? That's enough time.
yeah, there you go.
Thanks, thanks,
I'll
Tony. You're
produce it.
probably
I'll
giving me
I'll
my
put
next
the
job.
money
Let's get connected. Let's do it.
in. Charity Wakefield, I adore you. You're such a fun person to talk to,
Thank you so much for giving me the time, and
and
congratulations on
congratulations.
your Best Dad award.
Thank you. I carry it with pride, and
Good.
yeah, the Emmy is nothing. It's just thank you so much, Charity. It is a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Bye
Bye.
bye.